right. Back once again. I'm just going to start off this podcast just saying what's up. You guys know Mr. DJ Gunderson is back in town.
It's happening.
And the gang is all here for today. I want to thank, obviously, Mr. DJ.
Extra Cool and the gang.
That's right. Extra Cool and the gang.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Always
and hey, I guess, I don't know if I'm just seeing things, but it seems like a little different than the last time I was here, man. I like the new decor. Who'd you have come in here? The Fab Five or someone?
You like the tan cave?
Yeah. Oh, is this what it is? Tan cave?
Yeah, people have the man cave. I have the tan cave.
It's no longer the corner.
Oh, it is. There's still a corner here. It's actually, the corner would be like somewhere over in this vicinity there.
Yeah, no, man. Looks great. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks. You're the guinea pig. So
anytime
I appreciate you coming on, and it's going to be a fun episode today, fun discussion. As you know, as you're well aware, I would like to start doing more just episodes just dedicated to like great conversations and maybe, I don't know, just talk whatever's on our mind instead of only boiling down to like bands or this,
their
that.
History.
Yeah,
whatever,
or like albums that
That's all important stuff, dude. I mean, I love listening to that, but it's nice to open it up.
Felt better. I've never kind of obtained that higher frequency that I've always been searching for. So
good.
I'm there right now. And
you look good, man.
Thank you. So do you.
Oh, thanks.
Got the
I work out.
Got the tea right here.
I actually hadn't worked out like, I think last week was the first time in 3 years I worked out for 4 times in a week. I used to work out like every day. That was like my thing. Didn't matter what I would do like that day. Like a success was going to the gym, maybe like playing catch because I was playing baseball, chasing the dream. And, that was it. Like that was a successful day. Now, years later, now I'm kind of doing different things, got the podcast, the metal podcast, go check that out. But along with that, I mean, I just tried being a better person, so to speak, and there's more out there. But anyways, you got to balance the life, and I was neglecting that part, and dude, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you look healthy and just you look like you're ready to take on the world, which is important for
no doubt.
Other people to do as well, to feel like they can take on the world. And this today's discussion kind of this is perfect segue for the discussion that I wanted to lead into was, I know that there are more people out there that probably need to hear something like this. So I would like to venture into the topic of finding your specific purpose, because a lot of people suffer from like having no direction in life, they feel like there's just they don't have a purpose. So they get into this funk of maybe drinking heavily or doing drugs heavily or getting in this weird mindset of depression that you can't get out of. So I wanted you over here because you're, again, super educated on this stuff.
Well, I made a lot of mistakes, so I'm the perfect one for this.
Well, again, anybody who is a master of the craft has mastered all the mistakes. So you've mastered a lot of the mistakes that I think would be beneficial for people to hear. So again, thanks very much.
No, thank you for inviting me.
And I'd like to just get started and ask, when you get into that specific mindset of maybe, you had a crappy day or something like that, or, you resort to a negative substance or just a negative activity to try and cope with feeling without like you have no purpose, how do you kind of get out of that funk?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think something that changed for me is this, there's this perspective, and it starts from the moment you wake up. Maybe I've told you this before, maybe we've talked about it, but you can wake up in 2 ways, and don't take this too far spiritually, whatever. Just, you can wake up 1 or 2 ways. Good morning, God, or good God, it's morning. And that affects the rest of your day, the good energy. So I think you got to start it out and notice that there's some weird energy or effect that comes with being super negative or upset. So it affects how happy you can actually be. So I think it just starts with waking up. Realize, hey, today is a gift from God. That's why we call it the present. It's a cheesy line, but hey, it's true. Like, appreciate your life. Like, everything is beautiful around you. Like, there is beauty. And once you start seeing it, you'll see more of it. You'll be grateful you're here.
How do you kind of reinstill in yourself or not forget maybe the things that you have done and achieved in your life? Because I think a lot of people forget what they've actually achieved in life.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of artists suffer from this. Like, you know, they've made movies or made
Sure. Bands,
albums
yeah.
or played live that's changed people's lives in general, and they kind of forget how much work they put into their craft. And I'm not saying just for creative people wise. I'm talking just in the everyday average human life. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of things that others don't. I think it's like super
No doubt.
important to remember what you have, and that's your purpose is whatever you create for yourself. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
No, for sure. And I think, gosh, it's really hard because you always want to like do your best, always want more and more and more and do better and better and better. But it's really hard to enjoy that moment when you actually do something like amazing. Like, I was a baseball pitcher, or not even that, like playing the drums in a band and playing a show, even if it wasn't very good, or like, because I wasn't the best drummer or whatever, but like I still did it. Like thinking back, gosh, I haven't played a show in almost 20 years, but that was pretty cool. I did that. Or, I used to, one of like my best games I played in baseball, I had like a no-hitter till the last batter. And the guy hits a little duck fart. It bounces in for it's like a slow hit ball, like in the air. And the guy didn't catch it. Broke up my no-hitter. Get the next guy out. We won like the state championship. And I've never been madder at a baseball game. I was so upset. All I wanted was that no-hitter. And now looking back, like, dude, I would kill. I would kill to throw 150 pitches or whatever and like have that feeling like we won. But I didn't even enjoy it in the time, Like it sucks.
And that's a huge kind of thing as well, is enjoying the moment, appreciating the moment while it's here, because in a minute or a second, it's gone forever.
No doubt. Yeah, tomorrow's not even promised. But I think, you can't let your past hold you back. You have to move on from it. We've all done crummy, stinky things. We're not crummy, stinky people. It's what you do afterwards. Okay, recognizing that was bad. It might take some time to get out of that, but you're not held back or defined by your past.
Well, yes, to an extent. There's always exceptions to the rule in that case.
Sure,
There
we can go
are.
down that road, yes, but
for the most part, mistakes are who we are. We're human. Humans make mistakes. That's just that's part of our DNA, as it were. But I think what I want to add to your point, though, of you're not defined by your past, but also you are in charge of your future. So, like, only you could change how you feel. Like you can't look to the outside to make you feel good on the inside. It starts within. That's how I got out of my funk, dude. Like, there was a time, and I'm pulling the curtain back, because at this point, it's so long ago where I've done so much cool stuff, and I'm proud of it, to where it's...
Well, let's find out if you're defined by your past. This
Right?
sounds
Okay.
this sounds fun, man.
Okay.
Put you on the spot.
So, I rarely talk about it, and
Do I know
actually...
about it?
No, you don't.
Oh, cool.
But I'm actually... I'm super excited for the future, and I'm open to... I'm going to put myself out there to finally meet a nice female.
Some hot lady.
Yeah.
All
so,
right.
like...
It's getting hot in here. Is it
I know,
just,
right?
Or is it just the tan man?
It's just the lights.
Oh.
It's what's in your...
Ladies,
when you're in
he's
the
looking.
When you're in the tan cave,
All
it
right.
gets hot in
All
here.
right.
But there was a time when, I was like super down, went to parties that I probably shouldn't have, got super wasted off like hard alcohol, wanted to jump off a roof at one point,
All right.
because I was in that mindset.
Were
And
you like super hammered when you felt like
Yes.
jumping off the roof? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you're not thinking clearly. But
Yeah. But I mean,
maybe you thought you could fly.
there were also like circumstances that, I just broke up with the ex there, and
How old were you?
oh gosh, for my
Because
first
your,
ex.
your brain isn't really fully functioned until you're 25. So, I mean,
Probably 18 or 19
usually,
years old.
that time is very confusing for most.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, you know what? Back to your point. Like, you should just appreciate you made it this far, man. Same here. I'm like, holy crap. There's a lot of us didn't make it. Well, we did. And we're in a not so bad of a place. There's definitely people, we got a roof over our head. Our car generally starts when we turn the keys or we push the button, whatever. I don't know.
But I also one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up to begin with is because I think it starts with that a good foundation, having a good foundation, whether it be surrounding yourself with the right kinds of people.
That's important.
Which I definitely
Very
have.
important.
That was huge for me. Obviously, having a great family helps a
Yes.
lot, But also like wanting to having goals and wanting to achieve those goals. Like I love when one of my goals is like I see that through, a case in point. What did I do this year that I'm super proud of? I've talked about it a couple times on the show. I made my first documentary.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've always wanted to make a documentary. I always thought I'd be good at it. It's just like the next step to like what we're doing here. Podcasting.
I would say it's more similar to like making an album, I guess. But yeah, it is. It's a lot like the podcast too. It's a lot of the skills from the podcast, but I think the creativity, because the documentary is very creative, the whole process, and you've got to cut all this. I've been learning the cutting the video, and that's just for the podcast. But a documentary, man, you've got to have a vision, and like you got to tell a story. Usually, I mean, albums are supposed to tell a story. At least that's kind of my understanding. But so, what was something that you thought? Did you ever face a part where you didn't think it was gonna? You were just gonna. You know what? This is gonna be too much. I can't do it. It's not gonna be good enough. These guys that I'm doing the documentary on, they're not gonna like it. I should just no.
Yep.
Okay. So what happened?
So it was right at the point of all the interviews were done. I cut everything into segments, and thankfully my dad, huge supporter, huge kind of crutch for me, and just having that positive mental or morale is that what it is? That positive kind of force.
It's keeping you motivated.
Yes. Yeah. So I thankfully had that.
He's in your corner.
Yeah, no
the
pun
Poppitt's
intended.
corner.
Right. But I said, man, like, because to me, it was a little bit intimidating. For one, it was my first ever documentary. That's intimidating by itself. Never done it before. I just went in with confidence and said, I'll be good at this. I know I can. Here's my opportunity. And at some point, I was like, fuck, I don't know if the guys are going to like this. I don't know where to start. So that was the biggest eye-opening experience. What kind of an intro am I going to do? Because once I had the intro, everything just fell into place. I had the timeline all in my head.
Is it like a puzzle where you just got to put
Yes.
like that one little piece and then
you start with the corners.
Is that what you do? Yeah, I don't do puzzles, but I've heard that before.
Yeah, you start with the four corners of the puzzle.
Yeah. So you start with the intro.
Yeah, and that was like just building that.
Did you feel like, oh, so and so, or certain people aren't going to get enough time and they're going to hate me because each person you interviewed was a couple hours each?
Well, I tried to put everybody that I could in it because a lot of people had different things to say. So I tried to group them into, okay, well, this person's talking about this member coming in. Oh, this person's talking about this member coming in. I'm going to try and blend this. I'm like, who's talking about when the band started? Okay, this guy is. It didn't really matter who was talking about it other than the fact of I'm going to try and get everybody that I could be in the documentary because I spent hours.
How many hours do you think you spent on it?
Well, I spent hours interviewing all these people, so I wanted to at least showcase, hey, there's like other people besides the 5 members of the band in here. So I tried to do that, and I think I succeeded.
And then where do you put in the whole, Heretic, the band that you did the documentary on, they played on the bill. I still don't believe it's true, but it is. They played on the first show that Metallica introduced Jason Newsted. And And like you don't even have to like Metallica, even metal, like to understand how cool it is. After it was like 3 weeks after Cliff Burton, after his
Untimely passing.
yeah, his
Yeah.
passing, right? Yeah, like 3 weeks after the funeral. That's what I was gonna say, because he might have died right before that. But 3 weeks after the funeral, first show, new guy, and that was something we brought up on our show, the metal podcast, was that these guys are such like professionals that they can just fill in on a tour, just listening to the songs a few times. I don't even know how they do that, but that's amazing, and that's really cool. Heretic was on that bill with, it was Heretic, Metallica, and Metal Church.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and you're asking about like the flyering and stuff. So
Yes.
basically, how it starts, how I started the venture, and again, this goes back to like having a goal and succeeding at that goal, seeing that goal through. Because a lot of people talk and they don't. I don't like to do a lot of talking. I just much rather put in the work and let the work kind of showcase
And
for
I think,
itself.
not to sidetrack us, but the beginning of the whole podcast was people finding purpose, and it's almost like you have to have, I think what you're saying, a goal, but some sort of like finish line. So like, why get up in the morning? Like, so I think once you have that finish line there's a reason to kind of get out of bed. I'm not saying the only reason you got out of bed was to do this documentary, but people need something.
Well, you know what it was for me too, though? It was, so when I got injured, I hate to go back to...
And you get to be creative too doing this
Sure,
process.
but when I got injured, I felt like I had nothing. Like all my eggs were in playing guitar and being in this band. So I needed to have something for me.
Yes.
Something that I could have control over, where I didn't have to rely on certain skill sets. Like I had to kind of figure who was Tanner Poppitt.
Did you look in the mirror?
Did
it tell you?
Something told me. I just got a wild hunch while doing the podcasting, and somebody brought up a point. Actually, Shannon brought up the point of how come Heretic doesn't have a documentary, and I'm like, bingo, that's it. As soon as I heard that, it was like, that's what I want to do. And I didn't just say it. I went out and just did it and proved myself, and will continue to for years to come now. And I want to do more documentaries. They're super fun. Like I learned a lot on the legal side of things too, where I didn't know, because it's my first one. I'm still learning. But yeah, in regards to like answering your question, going the long way around it, yeah, there was a point where I felt like, man, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And It was at the very beginning after I did all the interviews.
After you did everything. That's
After
funny.
I did all the work.
I would have been like, all right, I interviewed one person. Like, this is, no. I don't know. You had done all the work. Like, you can't stop now. That's probably what your dad was saying. Like, come on, man.
Well, yeah, and then what we did was we just put parts in,
Yeah.
and we said, okay, does this go? And then I kind of had to whittle certain things together to make the story fit. The story kind of came out from the segments that we chose. It was super interesting to see.
So you didn't put your own flavor on it?
Well, I didn't need to. The story was already there. I had to just physically find the story, and that's what kind of a director's job is to do, is to tell the story and find it out of... It was very interesting. It was just like making an album plus podcasting at the same time. So I've already podcast and developed the skill to interview through my own way, right? I have my own unique way of interviewing people, which people tend to enjoy, which, again, thank you very much for that. But I also have a unique way of making records, writing songs. Like I have a unique way of doing both, so now I'm putting it together, and it developed into, well, this is easy because I've already done these. I already have this set of tools, and now these set of tools. I'm using the same tools, but now I have this other yard now that I'm creating this new kind of flower bed, as it were. I've already have these flowers here and this set of flowers over here, but now this is another kind of flower bed, as it were.
Just picking daisies.
That's right. So I think because I've already put in the work on those two avenues, and the documentary is just those two things combined. So the editing took a week. It was nothing.
It's not bad.
It took me like a full week to do that. To do an hour and a half documentary out of like 50 plus hours of interviews.
Yeah, that's what I asked earlier, how much time.
Yeah, so I interviewed like 20 people you got to figure 2 to 4 hours each. So that's, I would say I'm being generous, but it was 50 to 60 hours of stuff. And I was editing as I was going. So like I would do 2 hours, but I would edit those 2 hours. Then I would interview this guy. I'd do 2 to 4
so everything
hours.
was clean that you could
So
just put
by
it
the
in.
time I got to the editing, as in putting the story together, it was already there. But at
smart.
that point, I was like, how the fuck am I going to do this? Where am I going to how is the intro going to start? So then I had to figure out, okay. Had to start watching other people's documentaries and being like, I can do it. Like, okay.
Which documentary, either maker or documentary, was an influence for you?
It was interesting.
Or which,
it wasn't
like,
a
was it one that,
documentary.
like, did something click? You're like,
Yes.
this is how I got to do it.
It wasn't a
is it.
documentary. It was Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space. So the fact of the matter is, if that guy could do it in that time period, I could do it in this time period. You know what I mean? Because Ed Wood's considered like supposedly the worst director of all time, but I love his stuff. It's just something about his personality in the movies, and I wanted to bring that into my art. Like I already have a personality, so I wanted to bring that into this new art form that is documentary. So that was kind of my purpose. And I had to develop that to not be depressed. Like I had to have something for myself. Super important to have that. And realize, oh no, I'm capable of so much more than just this one thing. Like I'm a creative soul, just like you guys. If you're doing a podcast, you're creative. It's just how it is.
Well,
but people having a purpose like that and being creative, that's a purpose. Maybe you have a garden. Maybe you plant trees. Maybe you like to cook, paint. Maybe you like to work on cars. Maybe you like to... Do you know what I mean? That's why having a job is important. That's a sense of purpose.
It is. And then if, God forbid, something happens and you got to go on disability, you don't have that job, that causes a problem for people. And I think people who have probably experienced something similar to you are a lot of athletes, when they, even very high level athletes that make it to the top, and then, an injury, boom, they're done. And how, like, a lot of times, then the prescription on those, when you get hurt, the prescription is, hey, take this medicine. So it's a high-powered drug is really what they're giving you. And that, hey, get addicted to this, and then, one thing leads to another. You can be the perfect person, perfect person meaning you never touch a drug or drank in your life, get hurt, they give you some pills, you become an addict. Now what do you do? Now you don't have a job, and you're addicted to something that costs a lot of money. So then you're going to go get something like heroin or fentanyl that's probably going to kill you very quickly and or cause you to harm people around you.
Right. And it was, I didn't want to do that because that went through my mind.
Yeah.
As
it's
in,
quick too. Like, whoa, I'm an addict now.
I didn't want to go see a doctor to just so I could take pills to try and relieve this. I had to, it all starts up here for me. So I don't know, man. I feel like I learned a heck of a lot in between that time. And I was releasing like 5 albums. I found all those live albums. So that helped, having a purpose there. Was still releasing stuff in a time when not everybody was like bettering themselves. And I wanted to be the anomaly there and better myself. So yeah. And then it was super intimidating though at the premiere, the little private premiere.
Me and you went over to the Heretic guy's house, and we watched. And I'll kind of throw you under the bus a little bit because and it's because you hold yourself to such a high standard, and you were really, a little nervous, I'd say, a little on edge about like, hey, like, not only are they going to like it, but is everything going to work? Like, we're bringing over hard drives. We're bringing over backup computers. I don't even know what we were bringing. Your poor dad lugging all this stuff into the car, but you know what? They all, it was the total opposite. They appreciated it. They loved it. It was great. I'm glad I got to see it a second time because I hadn't heard of the band before. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, they played on that bill with Metallica. Like, that's really cool. That's historical. That's an important thing, and they're from here. you know, well, I mean, a little up north, but they're from here. They're family, man. You know that they're very cool dudes. I was so honored to meet them and thankful to
And I
be a
don't
part of
think
it.
it's throwing me under the bus. It was a great learning experience. It's one of those things where it's nice to not be perfect all the time. It's nice to like have imperfections to work on. That's what makes all of us better as human beings, right? But it was also intimidating too to be in the middle of the main guy and and the other main guy for both of those
And they're
projects.
sitting like this.
Yeah, and they're sitting. They're and I'm in the middle
They're
here.
big dudes. They're
Yeah, and I'm in the middle. I'm
you're
like,
not messing with them.
I'll never forget it. I'm looking like to my left and right, and the movie's playing. I'm looking at you, and like people are laughing at certain parts. I'm like, yes, they're laughing. Yes.
No, they went like this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but the thing that I took away from it is nobody got up and left. Like
No.
phones are ringing off, sure, but nobody got up and left because it was like
No,
a
they're all sitting
boring.
like this.
Yeah, like it was a boring movie or something. It wasn't. It was actually. It was
No,
the
it was
perfect
great. It was cool.
perfect
And
length, and I had to do a reaction video for it just to get something documented. It
a
wasn't.
lot of FU Tanners.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was tough.
Yeah, it was.
That's just-
Well, no, but a lot of them, like all of them, were just like that was.
It was professionally done. You know,
Yes.
It was very well done. That was the main thing. They're like, that was the thing. And you trusted the process. It's good on you. And I'm excited for the future, for your next project.
Thank you.
Next ones. Did you find that this was, I mean, obviously it was different, but if you had to pick one of the three, what would you do the rest of like your life? What would you pick? If you got paid the same, or you know what I'm trying to say? Like would you do podcasting, music, or the documentary? Or let's rephrase it. If you could be, get paid $1 million a year the rest of your life, or name whatever number, if that makes whatever, you could live the life, whatever you want to say. Like, what would you pick if you could only pick one of those? Gun to your head.
At this point,
2 guns to your head.
a director, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I get the best of both worlds. Like I am in control to tell.
Are you going to be like a Danny Elfman sort of? Obviously, that's music, but he's like composing. He can play shows. He can kind of do multiple things. Maybe that's the wrong type of thing. But
no.
So a director.
No, it would be like what Ron Howard is,
That's probably a better
or yeah, I would say like a Ron Howard. Like he was on screen and then he was off screen.
I love Happy Days.
Yeah, me too. The
The
thing about directing though, and again I still got a long way to go, but the fact of the matter is like I can say like, yeah, I'm a filmmaker. It's really neat.
Hey, you want to meet the director?
Right. Well,
Director's cut.
not just that, but I love the creative process of making a film.
You
It's
just like
super
telling
nice.
people what to do.
Yeah, I do. But I also like the fact that they trust me to make a good product.
It's
for
coming
them.
it's coming from well, like what you were
a
saying,
sincere
having,
place,
and
dude.
having like your take on it. You're gonna get the professional album, the podcast, the documentary is the next logical step. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna have your take on it. If it's not good, you're not gonna release it. You're gonna
Yeah.
burn it. Whatever. Sorry, guys.
Well,
But it's
and
not.
it's also about trusting if it's good or not. Like I had to kind of show a couple of my friends or family members and say, "Hey, is this?"
Yeah, but it's hard with that because people aren't going to tell you like how they really feel. Like honestly, like it's hard. Like like you want to have people in your life that I try to be maybe a little bit of a contrarian, so to speak. Like because we'll agree, but I'll be like, well, there is this other side that could possibly happen, or I like to try to have all angles covered. But a lot of times that can be a little bit of a negative take, or it could be a little bit of a negative Nancy. But you want to have people. You don't want to just have people surrounding you, just telling you yes or that's great, or because as soon as if you have 100% approval rating, as soon as that's 100%, it can go to 0% just like that. So you don't want that.
And I showed you the movie, and I didn't really get that much negative
No.
feedback on
More
it.
things. I was just asking questions just because
But
I
they were
didn't know
great,
stuff
and then
about
it made the
band.
movie better. Like
Yeah.
I made the movie better thanks to your guys' suggestions. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Like when we did the premiere at
Yeah, I
the
noticed.
Heretic
Yeah.
House, they're like, "Fuck, I messed up at that part." I'm like, "Okay, well I can just fix that."
Mm.
Oh, I'm like, "Man, I wish you used this." I'm like, "Okay, send it to me.
Can you
I'll use it."
not use the penis touching my hand? Can we not use that part? No, we're keeping that.
No, he was joking.
We're
I asked
keeping
him.
that.
I asked him that.
We're
No, that's
putting
that's a great. Again, I don't want to spoil the
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
for people.
No.
There's some good stuff in there. That's what I learned a lot about. It's like touring, dude. You learn a lot about
being on the road.
your
with people.
musicians or just the people that you're with. Maybe more than what you want to know, but it's all relative. It's all it was a super interesting process, and that was
And
my
it's still not done, right? Sort of, because you need to now. You're looking to screen it somewhere, enter it into maybe some festivals. I don't know what you do. With these things.
I'm learning as I go too, but yeah, I would love to screen it.
Do you send it to Netflix? Like, what do you do?
Well, I'm throwing this energy out to the world here, to God or the universe, and hopefully I'll get back something. But yeah, there's we know people in some some camps where they have streaming platforms on like the Roku or something like that,
Right
to
on.
where it's interesting how much support is in the filmmaking, the independent filmmaking avenue, rather than playing in a metal band. Like that is like the worst thing that I could have done in terms of the just how
As
much
a business decision or what?
The amount of support in that field is just non-existent. It's all like a dog eat dog world, whereas this is like, no, like let's make everybody come up, and I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking, and I think that's kind of that's why I'm choosing the directorial side of things, is because at least in the independent field, what I've kind of noticed is everybody wants everybody to succeed. That's super important for the growth of this industry.
Well, it's recognizing that, it's really easy to tear things down. It's hard to create. So it's like, if you see someone creating and doing good things, let's build those people up, because, letting your light shine helps others to let their light shine. So that's really cool. You found that in that industry. And long ago, when I was, in the band stuff and I saw like the future, it's like, if we were to really make it, is that something I want? We were around guys, and some other older guys were in our bands that had, quote unquote, made it.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, there's got to be a different route, and I love playing music. I do miss it, but I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I wouldn't change anything for it.
Ditto.
Right.
I mean, you could argue,
but it's so hard to in the moment not to get beat up or beat down, or to think this sucks or why even continue. But you just have to trust the process. That's what I learned with baseball. Is like, you do. It's not like practice makes perfect. The same with like musicians. Like, practice doesn't make you perfect, but practicing perfectly does. And how long does it take to become like that, to where, hey, Cliff Burton dies, we need a new guy like this in 3 weeks to play a show, and then go on tour for the Master of Puppets tour? Like, I don't know. How do you do that? That's insane to me. That
you prepare. You prepare. Yeah, I think people forget that aspect too of knowing how to prepare for success.
Failure to prepare.
No, it's a five piece of success.
No.
Proper planning prevents poor performance.
No, it's failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Wait, what is it? Yeah, failure to prepare prepares you to fail, or something like that.
I don't know.
You haven't heard of that one?
I know the 5 Ps.
What is that? Is that 5 Ps of marketing?
Proper planning prevents poor performance.
No, it's like product placement, promotion. There's like 2 others. I'm terrible. I should know this.
So, but
Okay.
Going back to the original question, the original point.
Failure to plan is a plan to fail. Boom. Suck on that one, everybody. I'm out of here.
Right?
All right. Tell us something.
So, but it all stems back from the question of how do you get out of that funk to
I think a bomb just went off.
Jeebus. Scared the crap out of
Yeah.
me. We'll have to edit that
How
out.
to get? Yeah, that's all right.
But how my original point was how to how to have purpose, how to find your purpose. And I think it just starts internally. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, I believe so, because the thing is that we can often make up like excuses, like say, you know what, I feel this way because there are people out in the world having sex with children, and you know what, I don't want to be in the world, and you know what, it is awful that exists. It sucks. It sucks that racism exists. It sucks that all this crap exists. But you know what? We're on this planet. We're in it together. We're all connected. You know, even the ground we step on, the same people are stepping on it across the globe. Like, it's all the same air. So I'm not really answering, I guess, the point when you're in the funk, but you need to start recognizing that there's more out there. And the way you can do that is by, I believe, looking in the mirror and seeing that you want to become, or you want more. And the way you get more is by appreciating what you have and even what you don't have. And because if you're someone who has, let's say you have a car and it's just all messy and all crappy and just you don't care about it, you just throw everything in there, right? And it's like, if you can't take care of your stuff, why would the universe or why would God give you nicer stuff? Why should you have a nicer car if you're just treating it like garbage? Why should you have nicer clothes if you're just treating yourself like garbage? Like if you're in a funk, take a shower. Like, just do something different. You sometimes have to do something drastic, something extreme. It might seem total like nonsensical to you, but something I did was like I started saying almost like either no to everything or yes to everything. Like, hey, do you want to learn how to do this? Yes, I do. And for me, I found like a book. I started not only reading it, but I started like typing it out just so that it would like force me to have like a good message, and it also helped me to type faster. So now I can type like a wizard. I got terrible wrists, but I can type fast, and it helped me even to learn a new skill because I like taking notes. I'll watch your podcasts. I'll take some notes. Helps me remember. And it like that, literally like typing up a book that was positive, as dumb as that may sound to people, was a lot of fun. And I remember those books, and it's like in my brain, like those books.
Would you ever consider writing your own book? That'd be a interesting thing to do.
Yeah, and I started something because I wanted to do something like about. Originally, I wanted to do a book about how to become like a better baseball player, like just 10 steps, what I wish I would have learned. And it kind of turned into this thing of like, you know what, I should do something of like, because having a brother with special needs, and I coach his challenger baseball team, and I've noticed from other parents that like they'll come up to me and say, "Oh gosh, you're such a good brother." I'm like, "Oh, if you only knew the past," but but they'll say like, "Gosh, I wish like my son or daughter took care or like, spent time with their special needs, a sibling like you do." So I kind of like broke my heart. Like, gosh, like I'll do anything for my brother, So I wanted to write something about maybe how to not be a better brother or sibling, but just how to maybe give some stories about my life that might trigger some different perspective of how, what else is out there, so to speak, or how to relate to someone with special needs.
Yeah, I just think it all starts with with yourself. It all stems from looking in the mirror at you and asking the most literally. I mean, dude, you said it yourself.
Who are you?
The most important question that I've probably ever been asked is who is Tanner Poppitt, or who are you?
Yeah.
Like who, and if you can answer.
I used to be the guitarist, but my arm hurt, so I don't know who I am now, or whatever it is. I had an arm injury myself with baseball. Oh, baseball's done. I got to play baseball into my 30s. Like, well, what do you mean?
Well, now and now it's finding out who you are, and I think that's a huge purpose. Like having a purpose, like that's where you can define kind of who you are and know what you stand for, what
your values.
Yes.
And if you revisit your values, I think I'm gonna be off track, but what are you gonna say?
And again, this year alone is like the most growth I've ever had within myself. I'm like super proud of myself for what I have achieved so far.
Are you comfortable being yourself?
Yes.
You're comfortable being
More.
a human being. You're not grinding, trying to be human or something. Like you're just okay with who you are.
And that's important to me. And I feel like it's so minuscule, but the channel has grown, I feel, because of it. Like they see the growth and want to be a part of my life, and just as much as I want to add value to their lives, listening in, watching in. So thank you, just for being here. But that's important. Not a lot of people want to work on themselves. They feel like they've learned everything and everything has to be handed to them, and
they know everything.
And they know everything. And the truth of the matter is none of us know anything. We're Pink Floyd, I think, said it best in their lyrics, where it was like we're two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. But apply that to 50 million souls just lost and just swimming around trying to find our own way here. That's important to know.
Well, I think another thing that kind of triggered an idea, what you just said, is that like there's like a couple ways you can live. You can think that there isn't enough for everybody, and then I have to take from you or put you down in order to bring myself up, or you can believe that there's more than enough to go around. There's more of everything. There's abundance in life. And in that way, we can bring everybody up rather than taking you down, bringing you down so that I can propel myself. And guess what that happens? Now I bring myself up by putting you down. Then there's someone behind me doing the same thing to me. Then at the end of the day, there's one person up and everyone else is down. Do you want to take those odds?
Well, that's the crab mentality. You know about the crab mentality, right?
The crab?
The crab mentality. So it's when you get a bunch of crabs, you put them in a barrel, and one crab is trying to get out, but all the other crabs are grabbing him, trying to pull him down. So no crabs are escaping. They're just in this. Try it out.
This loop.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So nobody is actually like propelling themselves forward. They're all just pulling each other down.
That's really funny. That reminds me of, this might be totally off topic, but there's this acronym. I think that's what you call it when it's just all letters together. It's OODA. I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. Loop. So it's OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. So the guy who created like one of the first like fighter pilots, and they would do their little dog fights with the, whatever, the fighter pilots, the jets. The first thing you have to do is observe your surrounding. Then you orient yourself. Then you make a decision. You act. Whoever does that the fastest in that loop wins. And it goes into sports. So it's like, who has a high OODA loop? And I heard that. It made a lot of sense. But I think with the crabs, they don't observe. They don't get oriented. The only decision they make is to try to go up, and their actions cause them to go down.
Well, no, when they see somebody going up, they drag them
they
down.
drag them down.
So nobody's actually escaping. Nobody's actually getting out.
Right.
And
it's
that's
not like the monkey links or whatever. What do you call those?
No.
Those are helpful.
Yeah, it's the crab mentality. So like all these crabs are trying to get out, and nobody's getting out because they're just propelled in this negative mindset.
Yeah, they're trying to tear you down.
Yep.
There's not enough. Oh, no. Like, no, there's
infinite, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge answer to that question. I think we're on to something.
Yeah.
Just in terms of there's an abundance of cool stuff. An abundance of that we all could propel each other up instead of tearing, because it's easy to tear down.
Yes, it is.
It's super easy. Again, it's super hard. It's super difficult to have the dedication and
Was it easy to make that documentary, to create that? It would be very easy for me to just tell you that's the worst thing ever, and hey, you're some type of bigot or whatever, and Ellen DeGeneres or whoever should cancel you. Wait, maybe she got canceled for being like that. I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say. Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, it's hard to be someone that creates a business or a song. But it's easy for just some Joe Schmo that's never done anything in their life to say this sucks. This is nothing.
You know what, I look at that as they're reviewing my movie or my album, something that I put my time into. Like, I'm not reviewing theirs. I'm reviewing mine. And everything that, creativity that we do is obviously subject to criticism. That just comes with the territory. But the way I look at it is, dude, you're like criticizing what I've done. I'm not doing like
Well,
I have no idea who you are, and you
Yeah.
don't mean anything to me. So obviously my work
but
means something to you.
I also think too is when someone does that, I'm like, gosh, how awful would it be to be that person, to be so upset with themselves, to be like, I have to like go out of my way to find, what we're using you as an example. I got to go out of my way to find Tanner Poppitt to say some song on one of his albums or one podcast on his channel sucks. Like, for me or you to do that, we probably have some really seriously bad things. So it's like, I wouldn't say I pity that person, but I do think like there is probably something going on. I'm not telling you that you should feel a certain way, but it would be awful to be a person that tried to tear people down like that, or to say such awful things to people you don't even know. Like you have problems. Like you have like some sort of like disability, like a bad one, like a manufactured one. Like you're not a good person. You're bad. So I think if you start thinking of things like that, you'll find out what you don't want to be, and that goes back to looking in the mirror. Like, who do you want to be? Like, who did you either see, or who, or what helped you, or like, did you find something like, who do I want to be? Because for me, I was like, I want to be a good person. Like, how do I do it? How can I be someone where like they'll call me and be like, hey, I got to call DJ because he knows what to do in this situation, or you know what I mean? Like, I wanted people to be like, hey, you like DJ's a good person. Like whenever they talk about me behind my back, I'll be like, oh god, you gotta stay away from that guy. No, I want to be a good person. I want to be helpful. But I wasn't when at that time I looked in the mirror. So for you, did you have some sort of moment like that?
I would say that the moment that I had was I wanted to get back to my morals. I wanted to stand for something bigger than me instead of keeping quiet all this time, because that's what has gotten me into my particular situation. So again, I'm not going to harp on it. I'm super proud of everything I've done this year and all the years previous, because that's how I've learned and grown to get to this particular point. So I think for me it was a matter of having something bigger than myself to believe in, instead of being like I'm the end all be all. Having the like bring my ego down a little bit has really helped me find who I actually am. So I think a lot of people kind of latched onto that for better or worse, and kind of looked within themselves, and maybe they didn't want to do that. Maybe they saw they weren't comfortable. They're not comfortable in their own skin, like myself, or like how you are. I'm sure I can probably speak for you. I think both of us are comfortable with who we are, and we're going to continue to grow and become better human beings.
I think we're both excited for the future.
Yes.
And that's for people, like if you're in a funk, I mean, for lack of a better word, but like you got to find a way to get that fire back, to get excited for the future. That'll get you out of it immediately. Being happy for that you have something planned next week. Because then it gives you a reason, like a reason to live.
And you can't rely on other people to do that for you.
No.
I think a lot of people just wait, and waiting is like the worst thing you can do for yourself. I think you just have to go out and do it.
You know what? totally agree. Because I read this book. I might have even given it to you. It's called Another Heart in His Hand. And that's a book I did type up, and there's a chapter in it about the idea of a launch pad, like when they're launching off a rocket, and they build this launch pad because they want to take off. They want to launch this rocket, do whatever they want with it, but you don't see them at the very end, like before they launch it. Drawing stuff on it, or putting a banner on it, because that's not helping it lift off. So a lot of people will try to get another new, like maybe a certification, or they're like, hey, if I read this book, my life is gonna get great or something like that. So eventually, like, you have to take off. You have to you have to do it. You got to maybe take a leap, take a risk. No risk it, no biscuit. Like, do it, but you can't wait. You have to go out and do it.
When life is already so minuscule to begin with, like, we don't have a lot of time here. So the more, in my opinion, like, the more I
kind
create.
of disagree. I think life is too long to be unhappy. Like, why? Like, dude, 50 more years? 50 more years to be, like, unhappy? Like, no, I would be over it. It's too long, man. No, but I get it. Like, you're never going to be 20 years old again. We're like, holy crap, we're old men, but at the same time, like, I was like, that kind of, like, when a while ago is when I was like, wait a minute, do I really want to be unhappy for, like, this sucks? This really sucks. Like, no, this is way too long.
It's a good point.
But I think, your stance is true too. There isn't much time at the same time.
Well, again, because tomorrow's not guaranteed, I look at it as every day is. Oh my goodness. Every day is, it could be our last, so we got to make it count. And again, it's why I've constantly putting out cool stuff, constantly doing interviews, constantly putting out records or songs, and now documentaries.
That's pretty cool, man.
So always being creative and having something to call my own, super huge. Having a purpose outside of the collective, like something just for me. Super important.
And I think too, like, this endeavor, especially the documentary, it's not something you're doing all by yourself. Like what I mean is, like, you're surrounded by people. Like, you have to talk to people. Like, that's when people kind of get in a rut, is when you're in by yourself, or like, let's do the drinking example. You're by yourself, you're drinking, and then the only other people you're gonna maybe associate with are people either as drunk or drunker than you. So, like, you're not giving yourself many options there. You got to maybe surround yourself with a little better people, a little better energy, and see how other people are living. Like, try to find someone successful or someone you admire.
You know what it is too, man? It's going against what society is taught us. So in the matter of speaking, what do you see on TV all the time? One of the things. People having a good time while they're drinking. Okay. So that is instilled. It's kind of gaslighted everybody into thinking that, like, the only thing that makes this situation or having a good time is to drink alcohol. I found the complete opposite now. Like, I feel like because it's so widely accessible and it's, like, okay to drink alcohol in every situation, that's kind of made people have this false sense of, okay, I have to drink to have a good time. I can't have a good time without alcohol. And that's bullshit. That's what they tell you on TV. That's what they show you in commercials. And so with me, I found that had a lot to do with why I was miserable. You know what I mean? Because I was looking on the outside rather than, again, I've always been a kind of individual that's always tried to like the things I like for me, rather than, I don't give a shit if you don't like the things I like. You know what I mean? Because I like them.
Yeah, and
that's important.
You shouldn't care.
Like that's
we're
important.
allowed to have different interests,
But people forget that.
They do.
So that was a huge milestone for me this year too. Was I don't give a fuck. And what's nice is, like, when you find, like, something that you truly love, all these people come out of the woodwork that like the same things that you like, and you're like, oh, like I thought I was the only one. Okay, cool. Now I have this new group of people where I can surround myself with and be like, yeah, like you guys are like case in point, me and you. You know, like when like we don't have to drink alcohol to have a good time. We can literally just have a killer conversation.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, meeting these other killer filmmakers like Mary. I'm like, oh, I didn't know these kinds of people existed that actually want to help independent filmmakers that are just starting out and give people a shot to succeed. Like, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah. No, they get it.
I didn't know that there were people out there that like, again, like that were huge tea nuts that I can go out and you know, I don't have to drink out. I don't have to go to a bar to meet my friends. You
Right.
know what I mean? I can go somewhere else to meet my friends. And I can surround myself with the people that I want to be like. I'm over being at this level. I want to be at this level.
Do you think you were ever, maybe not settling, but being someone like trying to be someone you weren't, or trying to be someone different? Because when I've started a job before, I noticed I was trying to be what I thought I was supposed to be for the job, and as soon as I started being DJ again and going back to the things that make me me and the things that I'm passionate about, because then other people will be like, I'm passionate about that too. They like that you're passionate about things. But yeah, I just think it's important to be yourself, and you're not beholden to anyone or anyone else's values or morals or what they think you should do with your life. And I think it does start internally. It starts with yourself, if that's what you want to be.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess that was a long-winded question of, so do you think you were possibly trying to be something or chasing something maybe you shouldn't have? I don't know.
I
What's your
felt
take
like
on
I was expected to be someone that
and who was
to meet
expected?
other people's expectations rather than myself. Like I felt like no, like I had to have these people like me. And the fact of the matter is no, I don't. I'm gonna be who I am. If they like me, great.
Right.
It's one of those things where
Their loss.
Yes.
Compared to like, no, it's my loss because they didn't like me.
exactly.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I was under like their definition of who I should be, and rather than no, I'm gonna be who I am, and the people that you're supposed to be surrounding yourself with, that they surround you. It's just like making it the documentary. Like the people that were supposed to be in the documentary were in the documentary. So you can't look at it as you're bummed that this person doesn't like you or this person should have been here. The fact of the matter is there's a reason for why they are here and why people aren't here, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason for everything, and I feel like that was a huge
You know what?
moment.
I think too. Here's something some people can do. Have every action you do from the moment you wake up have a purpose to it. Do everything. You know, like even something that's not dumb, but like trying to view things like if you're a father or a mother, try to be the best father or mother you can. Try to be the best sibling you can. Like whatever it is you're doing, be the best coffee maker. Push the button. Oh wow, I made it so good. Do it. Just do everything you can the best, because then you're creating a habit of doing things at your highest potential. And then eventually, and I think you've gotten to this, and I certainly have, is once you've maybe been aware of something you weren't of before, now you're aware of like this new life, and you're like, wow, I was really missing out. And now there's like so much more up here, and it's like every time you climb a little bit, there's so much like more. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's like, I do mean it in a good way, but more can also mean like now more is required of you. Now you've got documentary people. That's like more work. Now you got to schedule a premiere. Now you got to try doing another one. There's like all these different spider webs. Like, hey, now you got to go, not like have to, but now you're going to go to someone else's documentary. They're screening. You're going to go to someone else's show. Heretic's going to play a show. Like, and that's going to provide more opportunities. You're going to meet more people. Like, and pretty soon in a month, you're going to be like in a whole new place too.
Well, I'm going to meet different kinds of people too,
Yes.
because I'm going to meet people that I would never get to meet had I just stayed in a band and played shows. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It's
Then
one of
all
those
your
things
success
where
is dependent on what the band is doing right now. Like, hey, we had a number one album 2 years ago. Well, that was 2 years ago. Who cares? You know, like that's tough to be down that road compared to having something where it's more process oriented and you have more, like, your hands are more like buckets, I guess, so to speak.
yeah, and you're using different kinds of creativity
Mm-hmm.
with each project that you're doing. Like it takes
I
a different set of creativity to make an album, like it does for our conversation, like it does for writing a book, painting a picture, cooking a meal, whatever it is.
yeah.
Does that make sense? So being creative, yeah, there's so many different skill sets to different kinds of creativity.
I like that. You know, I think something I used to do is I used to not knowingly, I didn't have a very good story to tell people. My story was like, oh, I got sat down by the cops on the side of the road for a couple hours and I got away with it, or I was hammered and I broke this and did that. And it was like, I didn't have a very good story. It kind of reminded me of, like, I got a haircut today, and the guy's cutting my hair. It's just us in the studio or whatever, and you know, I'm just making conversation. He's kind of like kind of kooky looking guy. He's got all these tattoos, and I don't have any tattoos. I don't have any problem with people having tattoos, but the point is, I don't care if you have tattoos. I'm never going to say, oh, that's a really cool tattoo. I'm never going to do it. But I said it to this guy, and I wasn't being authentic. I wasn't being real, because I was like, oh, just trying to make up conversation. Oh, those are cool tattoos. Oh, yeah, man, I got them in prison. I just got out last year, and here's my ankle bracelet. It shows me, I'm like, you have like a freaking like knife to my neck. Like, whoa, you're shaving me and stuff. Like, this is not who I want. So that's a horrible story to tell someone. I want nothing to do with that guy. I should have just walked out. It was horrible. Nothing against anyone that's has anything in their past. I'm not perfect. You know, I'm the last one to say something like this, but you know what? Change your story. You'll change your life. Like, that guy is an idiot. He's so stupid. I don't want to be getting my hair cut by someone that was in prison because they wouldn't rat on their friends to the feds. Like, you're not a good person. You're probably a really violent criminal. The first thing you say is like, oh, I got these in prison. Dummy. I hate that guy. Now I'm mad, Tanner. Thanks a lot.
Well, that's what we do here. We
What a
show.
dumb. Like, I can't. Can you believe that? I just got in prison.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
What?
going. Wouldn't be
Like,
going
why
back.
are you hiring these people? Excuse me. Excuse me.
You sound like
am I taking crazy pills here?
You sound like a Karen. I'd like
Excuse
to
me.
report to the manager.
Oh yes, I
Um,
talked to the manager. No,
although
dude.
you don't have.
I'm like the coolest dude ever. Like, I don't give a crap about anything. I don't like, your past isn't an obstacle, right? But don't tell me, like, we're not there yet, buddy. Like, I just met you 2 minutes ago, and you gave me not the best haircut.
See, that's what you came in there to do, was get a haircut, right?
It's one job. I don't want to hear that you were cutting people's hair in prison. That's like, that was the second thing I said. I didn't care about this stupid guy, and I asked him, like, how long you been cutting hair? Well, I was cutting hair in prison for 15 years. Like, can you? Oh no! What has the world come to? Can I not, like, do business with criminals? Is that too much to ask, or is this where we're at? You know, like
Yeah.
I said, like, you shouldn't be defined by what you've done in the past. But that guy, I guarantee, is going to be back in jail or in prison. He didn't learn. You are forced. Here's the thing that changed me too, is you're destined to, there's some, like, mistakes you have to repeat until you learn the message. And I don't have to go over the story, but you get what that is. You know, if you're like, okay, I'm getting hammered
and I got a DUI while I was driving. Well, you're gonna keep getting DUIs if you keep doing that.
Well, also too, you got to surround yourself with people that you want to be like. So if you're surrounding
Yeah,
yourself
but a
with,
lot of times you're not aware that you want to be.
well,
Like,
yeah,
good,
that's
right?
where it
I guess,
starts.
yeah.
It all starts
But-
internally.
yeah.
What we've been saying before, but yeah, if you're surrounding yourself with people that have a bunch of DUIs, like chances are you're gonna have a bunch of DUIs.
What is it if you
You surround yourself with the people that you want to be,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's not like if you walk into a bar, it's not like every person in there is an alcoholic, but it greatly increases your chances compared to meeting them at the supermarket or where anywhere else.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying that drinking alcohol is like bad by any stretch. It just depends on your responsibility.
You have a little discipline with it.
Yes, yes. Obviously, me and you we'll go out once in a while and have a beverage with a meal or something. That's what I always felt like it should be. Is not downing a 12-pack at your house
No,
by
but-
yourself.
But a little brewski is all right.
Yeah, of course. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's bad by any stretch. I've just
I
on
mean,
this.
honestly, a beer, one of the best things you actually can kind of do after a workout is to drink a beer because it replenishes all like I don't know, just a lot of different things. I probably sound so stupid right now, but honestly, people were like trying to eat gummy bears after working out because it would like replace
the sugar or
the
something?
sugar and stuff. But no, like a beer actually can. But we don't just drink one. That's the thing. So drink your protein shake. Don't drink the beer. Yeah, but there are two ways of looking at things. Like probably like a little like sip of the beer is probably like the best. Like that actually would be scientifically or medically like good. But that's the thing. Like people are like, "Oh, I'm having a glass of red wine because it's good for me. If I have 3 glasses, it's gonna be 3 times as good." No, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're really dumb. Don't do that. You're an idiot. You're stupid. I'm having a skinny margarita. I'm gonna have 7 of them because that's better than having 2 fat ones. Yeah.
Right. So
You're
it's
dumb.
so, but it,
Yeah.
you're only proving my point as to just have to be responsible with
Yes.
what you're doing. And a lot of people don't have the threshold to stop. They just keep going. Like they don't have a stopping place. So
No, the worst thing too, I think, is like the sodas that say they don't have like sugar in them or something, like Coke Zero. I
Oh,
think
got
Coke
it.
Zero is like the devil, I guess, so to speak. I think it's so dumb because the only people that drink diet soda are fat, thirsty people.
well, diet is so bad for you, dude.
Yes, that's what I mean. And to say like you don't have sugar on top of it, it's not like a good thing because they use like aspartame or this cancer-causing agent. I mean, hello.
Yeah, it's only approved in the U.S. But I won't get into that aspect. I'm just saying that, again, even having a proper diet plays into a part of finding your purpose. Because if you have a cloudy mind or whatever, you have a cloudy judgment, equals you have you don't really have a good chance of finding your said purpose.
Yeah, I think there's something called brain food. I don't think donuts are. I hate donuts.
I would love a good donut. Dude, I hardly
awful.
I hardly ever
I can't
eat
even
them.
smell them. Like those birthday parties when you're a kid and like everyone, like you're like, oh, cool, it's Jimmy's birthday. And like, oh, we got donuts. And I would be like the freak that wouldn't eat them. Or like maybe I'd eat like the sprinkles and the chocolate off of it. But they're gross, dude. That's like I'm not like that's a good thing not to like. Like I'm lucky. Like people, or what's something else someone likes? Like Cheesecake Factory, like the cheesecakes.
No, cake in general.
Okay,
I'm not a cake guy. I hate the texture of it. I hate the frosting.
mess with it.
Like I'm not a cake guy.
I don't like the fruit in the cake, but I like actually like cake.
Yeah, I
Chocolate, vanilla.
can't do
that's
it.
Solid.
Can't do it. I'm a pie guy, so
Pie guy.
yeah. But my point is it's the
My
same.
grandmother made a pie to die for. Did you know that?
I don't know what kind of pie that would be.
Like an apple pie.
Okay, as American as it gets.
Yes.
But Yeah, man, dude. So, what is going on with the metal podcast? We'll get out of here, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
a moment of your time to
Dude,
have a
oh man, no, I
positive
wish
conversation.
yeah, we'll have to do this again too. Yeah, we're on just released episode 14. We've got really cool episode art now that we've been messing with. We want to thank our artist for their hard work. But yeah, like so for instance, our latest episode, we talked about the golden age of Disney, and we also talked about Megadeth's set list, their history kind of from 1984, because they used to have Kerry King used to be in their band, in the very early days, and whatever. But anyways, we kind of tracked how they really got rid of their first album live, and kind of like what's going on with that. And they even played on some of their first shows, or the first years of their shows, before they even had their first album out. They're playing songs off their third album, So Far So Good, which is very peculiar. So we went through that. So our show really is a wide variety of things. We are the metal podcast, but we're not afraid to talk about the music that's popular today and what that's really doing. Like, we don't think Chris Brown, or he might not have the worst lyrics, so to speak, but a lot of these people are just really despicable individuals, and they're just promoted to the youth. And
they're scumbags. They're scumbags,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them say they're self-made, and I hate to break it to y'all, but they're not.
I like the rich people that complain that they've had a tough time
Yes.
because of the system, but they're like gazillionaires.
Yeah, it's like Tom Morello.
Fuck that guy.
Oh god, and you were fantastic on it. You're still the only guest to have appeared on the Metal Podcast.
I'm honored.
So no, we're honored to have you, man. That was personally one of our favorite episodes.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it again, man. It
Yes,
was
you'll have to.
super fun, and obviously I've put your link in literally on all the
Dude,
Poppitt's
no,
Corner
thank
episodes.
You. We'll not share the wealth. We'll do return the favor. Is that the word? Yeah,
It's
that's
about building a community,
Yes, sir.
and I want to start doing that with the show, and again providing different kinds of conversations to you folks out there who I know, maybe aren't in the best shape, but can relate
Right.
to what we're saying. It's super important to not just talk about music or this, that, and the other, but actually have like a conversation and just think a little bit.
Let me. I forgot one thing. If you are a band out there and would like some free play promotion, we will be more than happy to play your songs. So send them over. You can find us on Instagram at the Metal Pod. We're on SoundCloud. So we are the Metal Podcast. You can find us. Ask Tanner. He'll direct you. Please don't
Right.
keep us a secret.
Well, I like I said, I put your YouTube in
Yes.
it, but I also know you don't really post a lot on the YouTube
Not-
besides shorts.
Yeah,
so.
more shorts. Yeah, trying to direct traffic more to the SoundCloud. But hey, anything helps. I mean, you can reach us. We got a Discord. Let us know if you'd like to join our chat. We're trying to really, branch out. We want to meet everyone, man.
And I want to just ask one question in regards to the Metal Podcast, and
Yes.
it might be controversial,
Uh-oh.
but it's fine. What is the point that you guys are going to reach to where you might change your values? Because a lot of fucking things, like when they reach a certain level, their values go out the window. Is that going to happen to you?
Yeah, man, we're spineless. So whatever's popular at the moment, man, we're ready. No, Jude. There's one track, one mind. We don't see ourselves compromising on our values unless hell freezes over, and that's not going to happen.
A lot of
but
people
no,
do.
But,
That's why
but
I'm
it's
asking.
important. You have to, and no, yeah. All jokes aside, it's something we really feel passionate about, and we're excited. Yeah, we feel like we've just started hitting our where we want to go.
I like it, and like I said, more of this. The more of this, the better. I
Yeah,
always
no doubt.
enjoy yours and AC's conversations, and he's a very intelligent
And Tupac is still alive.
human
Spoiler
being.
alert.
Dude, that blew my mind.
It's that good. That one's crazy.
That blew my mind, dude. And I'm a fan.
I didn't even get into the Biggie part, but the Tupac, yeah, we were gonna connect them, but it just, you gotta watch. That's yeah,
Because it blew my mind. I'm like,
is it episode 10? I can't remember.
I can't.
Might be number
maybe,
11.
Maybe I thought it was like 11 or 12.
You'll see the episode art has a picture of Tupac. It's pretty funny.
It is. But yeah, I couldn't explain why he has 5 albums post.
Yeah, and you're a
his
music
death.
guy. You don't just have that much stuff laying around.
No, not at all. But DJ, I
Dude, Tanner,
appreciate
thank
you.
man.
Appreciate our friendship, and
Absolutely. We'll have to do it again
always-
and come on the Metal Podcast. You are always welcome.
and you're always welcome on Poppitt's Corner. And for another
It's been a blast.
episode, I appreciate all you guys subscribing, leaving comments. I'm hearing from you guys constantly now,
Yes.
so thank you for just giving a shit and wanting to be a part of something bigger than yourself and myself, and just helping this community grow in a positive light. So for another episode of Poppitt's Corner, guys, we're out of here.
Later.
Cheers.